January 23rd and January 24th. We're recording this podcast on the 20th to date the podcast. The matches are Dallas Empire, New York Subliners, Los Angeles Guerillas, Seattle Surge, Atlanta FaZe, Florida Mutineers, and then on Sunday, London, Royal Ravens, Paris Legion, Toronto Ultra, Minnesota Rokkr, and then the show match of the entire event probably is Chicago OpTic and Los Angeles Thieves. Like I said, the guy has already made the prediction, but this is the only picture we could find, so you guys agree with his prediction of Dallas over New York. I don't feel like that takes a lot of brain activity, especially after the roster moves.
Yeah, Dallas is taking that 100%.
Dallas 3-0.
3-0?
Maybe 3-1.
Hold on.
In the words of...
if they take it seriously or not.
I mean, I feel like they're going to.
If they take it serious, 3-0, Dallas.
In the words of Aches, can we 5-0 them? So we're all agreeing Dallas over New York for the 3 p.m. match on Saturday. The next match, scheduled for 4:30 p.m., Los Angeles Guerillas and Seattle Surge. On the power rankings, this is a 7 versus 8 matchup. Basically, Octane is going to slay out for Seattle. It's going to come down to what gunless we get and who's going to bait for Octane between Pristini and Looney. And then it's going to also depend on what apathy we get. Because as we learned last year, no matter how good Octane is, his teams can still lose. So I feel like Silly, Vivid, and Assault are going to have solid performances. It's just going to depend on the head-to-head matchup between Apathy and whoever his counterpart is in this. So
I'm going to pick Seattle for this one. I'm going to go with Seattle.
Yeah, I agree with that. Seattle's probably going to take this one.
Yeah, based on what I said, I feel like I have to go with that too, because a solid performance from 3 players on Los Angeles probably wouldn't matter if Octane is Octane and Gunless is Gunless. So I'm disagreeing with the person's picture. I am picking Seattle for the 4:30 Saturday match. Which brings us to the nightcap between Florida and FaZe. Again, this isn't really a competition. Florida's made roster changes in the last 6 hours. I feel like FaZe takes this easily.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Sunday, the powerhouse matchup between London and Paris. London.
I'm gonna go with Paris here.
That's a wild card pick, brother.
I'm actually with Zoe here. I think depending on how their practices went and how much practice they've gotten, I think Paris.
The only thing I know about Paris's practice is that they've played Chicago thanks to the YouTube channels that steal content.
Let me say the reason why is because when Scraps plays with a chip on his shoulder, he's a completely different player. He got dropped from London for no reason, let's be honest. And his brother got dropped from London, and his brother is still not in the league. And this can all be traced back to London. So Scraps is very not happy at the current state of mind with London. So that's why I'm going to go with Paris on this one.
London...
I still think they're a bottom-seeded team. Don't get me wrong, but
no, I'd
like to see Scraps get his revenge.
London is an SMG reliant team between Alex and Dylan. If they have off matches, London loses every map. It depends for me on Paris on what classic we get, because are we going to get 1.3 KD Rampart Classic, or are we going to get the 0.8 Classic that lost a 1v1 to fucking Ricky at BO4 champs?
It also depends on Fire 40, on if he can go off or not.
I don't know, dude. His counterpart in this, I think, is Zero. I'm not that confident in Zero, and I don't really think Shawnee... Like, he's a pro player. No offense, Shawnee, if you ever hear this. Yeah, you're a pro player. You're a god at the game. You're just not really in, like, the list of main ARs I would consider that would impress me. Like, you're a very solid main AR, but that's not saying much when there are 12, and you're probably the 10th main AR on that list.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this being a close game, but I think Paris will take it.
Who's Paris's main AR? That's a good question. What's Paris's full roster?
Fucking Fire, Scraps.
Aqua's their main AR.
Yeah.
Aqua's an underrated player.
What I said about Aqua is if this was a jetpack game, Paris would be much higher on my list because Aqua was really good at jetpacks. Scraps is a wild card in any game, and then also Classic was one of the upper echelon players in BO3, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, he was a name people were afraid of in BO3.
Even then, but like in IW as well, OpTic and Luminosity, everyone had their counterpart, and OpTic was the best team in that game. So Classic played like Karma. So, you know, they were a powerhouse team as much as OpTic was.
All right, so actually I might pick Paris in that too. I'm switching my answer to Paris. Yeah, I don't like London.
We have converted him.
I mean, just thinking about what I said out loud, this game relies on ARs to a fierce degree, and Shawnee just isn't that good of a main AR compared to the rest of the league.
Right.
So yeah, Paris is going to be my pick for that. And then when it brings us to the 4:30 match, Toronto Ultra and Minnesota Rokkr. Minnesota is... where is Minnesota? Minnesota is Attach, Priesta, Accuracy, and Major Maniac. So, I don't feel like there's really a way Minnesota could lose this.
Yeah, Minnesota's taking it. In my...
Who's on Toronto?
I
know Methods, Zenny.
Kleenex, Methods,
Cammy, Kleenex, Methods, and Bance.
Yeah.
And who is on Minnesota?
Attach, Accuracy, Priesta, and Major Maniac.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Minnesota on this one. I agree with you guys. I don't see a world where Minnesota. If Cammy plays SND the same way he played last year, maybe Toronto edges this out in a game 5. But I think Minnesota would take this one just by respawns alone.
If we get BO4 champs Kleenex, the tissue is an issue. I don't think there's any chance in hell Minnesota wins this because Kleenex single-handedly decimated Envy in BO4 champs. Mm-hmm. He went on like a 23 streak on Hardpoint Arsenal. But I'm still picking Minnesota unless Kleenex pops the fuck off. So are we all in agreement? 3-0 in the decision making for Minnesota?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brings us to the show match of Chicago OpTic Chicago. I never get those right. And then Los Angeles Thieves.
I find it funny how OpTic is the only team that has the city name as like their main thing.
Yeah, Chicago is their mascot. OpTic is my city.
But no, I think it looks cool because, you know, OpTic Gaming, right? It's always OpTic first, and then so it's OpTic Chicago. I kind of like how they're different. This match totally unbiased whatsoever. OpTic, 100%.
Biased decision OpTic.
Okay, I'm glad we all agree. OpTic.
And it's nothing to knock LA Thieves for. There's just something about 4v4 formal as an AR. Scump, now Dashy, and Envoy's been playing out of his mind. So, I mean, it's going to be a good match, definitely. So we'll see.
Just on...
I think it depends on. I think it depends on what TJ we get and what temp we get. Because I mean, we already kind of know what we're going to get out of Slasher and Kenny. I mean, they're going to be good. But TJ is a toss-up and Tim's a toss-up for me. But I mean, regardless, I'm still taking Chicago. It's just I feel like in order for it to be a good game, those two have to show up.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Okay, side note that I just realized looking at the logo. Did you guys realize that it's OC now?
Yeah. No, I knew from the beginning.
I never paid that much attention.
Yeah.
It's not OG, it's OC.
I never paid attention. I just kind of saw it, acknowledged that they looked the same. Now it's a different logo.
Yep.
All right, interesting. Okay, whatever. So recap. We all picked Dallas. We all picked Seattle too, didn't we?
Yep.
We all picked Atlanta.
Yep.
They converted me to Legion for the 3-0 from that London. So we all picked Paris. We all picked Minnesota, and then the unbiased one, trademarked unbiased pick is OpTic over LA.
If we go 6-0 on this,
I mean, I'm a Call of Duty esports personality. I know what I'm talking about. Catch me on main stage casting, lol.